Amanda,
Hi, Carmeli.
let me turn on my video. I don't know why it's not.
Hi, Juliet.
Hi, Amanda. Hi, Carmeli.
Hi. Hey, Amanda, is there any way you can let me show my video?
I sure can. I'm not sure why I wouldn't be doing that. Let's see.
Yeah, it's weird.
Let me see if I make you a co-host. Let's see what happens. How about that?
All right, let me try.
There she is.
Oh.
All right, great. Well, let's get started, everybody. We've got all of our presenters on, myself included. Thank you so much for being here. You are on the iNSPIRE project launch meeting today. We're starting at 2 o'clock and we're going to go to about 3 today. And we're really excited to have you. We're really excited to have you here in the same virtual space. It's wonderful. We have, I think, about 55 people registered today. So we've got a big group. It's wonderful that we're coming in all from California, from Northern California, Southern, and everything in between. And we're all meeting here to celebrate, to get excited, and to learn more about the iNSPIRE project. So let's get started. So my name is Amanda Davidson. Many of you I've had phone conversations with. I think all of you I've probably had email conversations with. So it's really, really nice to have you all here. We're doing this launch meeting in a webinar format. We have a lot of people on. Again, we're coming from all over the state. And what that means is, unfortunately, we can't see you, nor can we hear you. But what I like to say to that is just because we can't hear you does not mean in any way that we don't want to hear from you. I imagine that you all have lots of questions. You may have some comments, especially after the presentation today. You'll want to ask questions of Juliet and Carmeli, and that's what we're here for. So let's familiarize ourselves with the chat box. I'm sure you guys have been on many Zoom calls up until this point, so you probably know exactly where it is. But if you could, for me, take a second and locate it on your screen. And I've got a question queued up in there, but I'll just reiterate it. If you could, let us know the skilled nursing facility that you're representing, your name, and then the names, please, of anybody else that may be in the room with you. We realize there may be multiple people in the same room watching today, and that's just fine. Let us know who's on. It gives us a better idea of attendance numbers and who was able to make it today. So let me see, look at my chat real quick. Great. Pilgrim Place, wonderful. Lincoln Glen Skilled Nursing, great to see you, Rebecca. Villa Gardens, oh, this is wonderful. Thank you guys, thank you. Keep entering because it's really important that we know who's here. And I'm gonna head into our agenda. So I'm one of 3 presenters today. I'm also joined today by Carmeli Hoxton with IN2L, as well as Juliet Curlin with IN2L. And they're going to be reviewing a couple things for you. Carmeli is going to be doing a project review today. And then Juliet is going to be doing a really, really cool engagement platform overview. So you're going to get kind of this really nice overview of the IN2L system. And it's really fascinating. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So Carmeli and I are going to talk project. And Juliet is going to take kind of the IN2L system and program. And that is going to be our hour today. We do have some time reserved at the end for questions. So again, if you have questions, ask away. We want to hear them, and we're here to answer them. So before I jump in, I just want to talk real quick about kind of what our goal for today is. We really want you to feel at the end of the hour, we want you to feel excited. I think most importantly, we want you to feel excited. We're not going to talk politics today. We're not going to talk COVID. We're going to talk you and the iNSPIRE project. And we really want you to kind of get excited and engaged about all the cool things that are going to happen through your participation in this project over the next few years. So the second objective that we have kind of for today, at least, is that you feel informed. We want to help you be successful. We want you to start off in this project feeling successful and feeling like you know what's expected of you. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I take on kind of a new project or a new task, it's really important for me to know what's expected of me in order to be successful. So those are the two things that we want to achieve today. Again, ask questions. We're here to help, and we've got some great content to cover. So shall we get started? Let's do it. So again, hi everybody, Amanda Davidson here. I am with LeadingAge California, and I'm based in Sacramento. So I know that we've got folks from all over California today, but where I'm located is in actually quite chilly Sacramento, California today. So I hope everybody else is staying warm. I'm the grant manager of the iNSPIRE project, and I want to give you just kind of a really brief project review, so you know more about the project that you're involved in. So officially, the iNSPIRE project started on April 1, 2020. So we're very kind of new into this project in that it's a 3-year project and it will go until the end of March 2023. So the iNSPIRE project is a CMP grant written by LeadingAge California to the tune of about $2.6 million with the intended goal of bringing IN2L's person-centered engagement technology to 60, not 60, of California's skilled nursing facilities over the next 3 years. You, my friends, you guys are one of those 60. You were selected, you turned in your application was reviewed by our stakeholder group, and you were personally selected as one of those 60. So I want you to feel proud. I want you to feel excited, I think, that you made it and that you are in this group. It's a really great accomplishment, and you're going to receive a lot of wonderful things through this project. So bear that in mind. You are special. You guys are great. So the goal of the project, again, was to bring IN2L's engagement technology to California. And we wanted to look at two very clear and measurable objectives. So you are receiving equipment, IN2L equipment. Carmeli's going to go over that. You're receiving training. You're receiving all the things in order to be successful. And what we want to look at as the writers of the grant is we want to see if IN2L's engagement technology hopefully achieves a 20% reduction of antipsychotic drug use within your community, as well as an increased quality of life through your residents, in your residence. So that's kind of our overarching goals as the individuals writing the grant and receiving the grant. And what we are asking of you is to submit the things, and we'll talk about that, Carmeli and I will a little bit later, some data, quality of life surveys, and your CASPER report to hopefully help us achieve these two measurable objectives. And we'll talk about that later, but I hope that just kind of gives you a better sense of the grant and what we are trying to achieve. All right, I'm going to hang out on this slide for a little bit because there's actually 2 of these slides. You guys are in a very large group. I won't go into it, but the way that the 60 skilled nursing facilities are kind of divided up is into groups. You are in the final group, and it's a large one. It's a group of 33. So there are 33 communities actually represented today on this webinar. So when you submitted to me your facility agreement, and likely you guys all remember doing that, it wasn't too long ago, you provided us with your administrator's name and your project leader name. Some of you have multiple project leaders, that's fine. These individuals are the individuals that we will reach out to with all project related communication. You will hear these individuals that you see up on the screen right now, you will hear from me and you'll hear from Carmeli. You guys will be kind of the point people within your community to carry this project to the finish line. So these are laid out here on this slide alphabetically, so it should be pretty easy to find your community. We've got Alhambra Convalescent Hospital all the way down to Lincoln Glen Skilled Nursing. The important thing that I just want to mention here is if these individuals change, let us know, let me know. It's really important that you do because we want to make sure that you're getting up-to-date project information. We want to make sure that we're sending emails to the correct person. I'm going to continue talking, guys, but I am going to switch screens. This is the second slide, starting with Lone Tree Post-Acute down to Windsor Manor Rehabilitation Center of Concord. Really important just to keep these individuals, their names and their email addresses and their contact information up to date with me. There's really nothing worse than sending an email out into the ether and not getting a response, and then have to wonder, you know, why the email isn't being responded to, or sending, you know, leaving a voicemail and not getting a response. Just make sure that you're always letting us know if these individuals change. And that way we're reaching out with contact information, or excuse me, project information to the correct contact at the community. So I hope everybody's been able to identify their community, their administrator, and their project leader or leaders here. If I've spelled your name wrong, if somebody has left since you filled out the facility agreement, just shoot me an email, let me know, I'll update it. It's as easy as that. Okay, I think that is everything. Oh, I lied. There's one more thing, you guys. I sent you an email last week letting you know that you would be receiving some project folders in the mail. I have a sample of one here. They should look like this. You should have received about 20 of them. These are for you to do what you will. They're for you to use in any way that you think would be beneficial. In that email, I think I laid out about maybe 5 or 6 bullet points of suggestions, such as including them in new staff onboarding packets. You know, if you do a newsletter, maybe you'd like to draw some content out of these packets to put in your newsletter. Really, whatever you'd like to do with them, they're kind of just informational and informative for your staff, residents, family, whoever you think would like to know more about the iNSPIRE project. I think inside of them, there's an FAQ sheet as well as a flyer, and then of course, my card. So whatever benefit you see to these, please use them as you will. If you'd like more, we can certainly arrange that. We can get more to you. But they are for you to use in an informative way and to let people know about this really cool project that you're participating in. Okay, I think that's everything that I had to cover. So I'm going to turn it over now to Carmelli Hoxton. She is specifically your California iNSPIRE Customer Success Manager with IN2L, and I will let her take it away.
Thanks, Amanda. I just want to say hi to everybody, and I'm super excited that there's 33 of the facilities joining us today, and there's about 54 participants on right now, so awesome, and thank you for showing up. So I'm super thrilled that your teams will be a part of this project, and just super excited that you're going to have IN2L in your buildings, and you will see all the wonderful things that IN2L equipment can do in your facilities when Juliet kind of shows us around and share some awesome stories. So I will be helping you with the initial setup, the training, and continued support throughout the project. I will honestly be probably on the phone with you all the time, and I'll probably email you. So get used to my name popping into your phone and your email. And so if we go to the next slide, we'll just talk about all the cool stuff that you will be getting. I know that some of you have probably received an email from Amanda that boxes were arriving in your facilities, and some of you actually have emailed and said that you have received, I think, the tablets. So that's awesome. If you have received any packages, go ahead and open them up and just check the equipment is inside. And I'll be sending you guys a checklist so that you can start checking off all the wonderful things you're going to be getting from us. And so the only thing I do request is just keep them in the box and in a secure place in your facility. These are really expensive equipment, and they're wonderful. So I'm just going to break down what's in these boxes. And I also send you a checklist. So don't be super overwhelmed with all the things I will be saying, because you will be getting an email from me so that you can start checking off all the stuff that you're getting. So the first thing you're getting, or first thing we'll talk about, is one box. It's going to have a Dell logo on it. And that is the all-in-one computer monitor. So you could see there on the right side of the screen. That is an all-in-one computer monitor, and it also is a touch screen, so it's really cool. And then you're going to get 3 boxes that's going to have the accessory kit. So many times, go back. It's okay. Many times these accessory kits will be strapped together, And so inside you'll see a drive simulator, a bike simulator, and a flight simulator. And then you're also going to get a big pallet, and that's going to contain the cart, which is what you see on the right side there. And it's going to be holding up this screen, so that all-in-one computer that you will be getting. We understand that you might not have a lot of room in your facility. So once you get that cart off, go ahead and discard the pallet. We don't need it back. You don't need to keep that. So you can discard that as well. So let's go to the next page and let's talk about the tablets that you are also getting. So a lot of you guys have said that you have gotten this. Please look inside your box. Just dig through it, because sometimes these tablets are like right on top of each other, or they're in another box. So you should be getting 3 tablets. So one box is going to contain 2 white boxes inside, and then you have 2 tablets in that one box, and another tablet in another box, and it's also going to come with chargers. So those are the wonderful tablets that should be coming into your facility, or they're already sitting in your desk in a secure place. Let's go to the next one. All right, let's talk about some project milestone. So as you know, you are going to be receiving several boxes pretty soon. This says please don't open them. Go ahead and open them, because I just want you guys to all just start checking off what you have. And this is going to also help me kind of figure out if you didn't get something and you need to get it. So that is an important thing for me to know, is that you do get all your equipment before the training starts. So let's talk about the training. So we have training for your tablets, which is happening on Wednesday, December 9th at 2 p.m. That's next week. And then we're going to have a training for your large screen, which is Monday, December 21st at 2 p.m. And then we're going to talk about the quarterly reporting. I think Amanda mentioned in the beginning. So you have your QOL surveys, which is the quality of life surveys, as well as the CASPER reports. And those two we'll talk a little bit more as we go on with this presentation. I will be sending an email on how to set up everything, especially your large screens, with the cart. So this is going to be your computer and the cart. And this usually will occur before your training dates. An important thing I really want to remind everybody that is on this call is that we will need you to set up your mobile flex, which is the card in the computer. And we need to connect that system to your community's Wi-Fi as soon as possible. So once I see that this is in your facility, you're going to be either getting an email from me or a call to get this on. It's so important, because in order for us to provide reports that are required by LeadingAge each month, the reporting period ends at end of the month, and we just don't want to miss any of your usage. So if you're not on Wi-Fi and you're not connected, we can't get all the wonderful things you're doing with this computer. And it's also helping me keep track and helping you get this content in your facility so that you can start using it. These trainings are going to be about an hour long. So for the training for tablets, that's going to be an hour. And then the training for your large screen is also going to be an hour with our wonderful implementation specialist. They're going to be training you guys with all the wonderful things that these can do. And you'll be seeing a little bit of a preview as Juliet goes through them after this presentation. And so we can go to the next one. All right, so let's talk about evaluations, all the fun stuff that's happening. We also need to record it, because we need to see that there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to need from you, but it's just super simple. So I will be requesting a quality of life survey, and the survey link I will send in an email with instructions on how to complete it. It's super simple, 15 questions of the survey. And this is only going to be completed every quarter. So the first one around that's coming, that's just going to be your baseline. We just want to see where everyone starts off. And so that is the quality of life survey. And then the CASPER report, Amanda will be requesting from you guys, and she'll speak about it right now.
Yeah, thanks, Carmeli. So the CASPER report, there's an image of it here on the slide. This should look very familiar. It shouldn't look, this isn't a new report. This is something that you're already doing. So what you see here should look very, very familiar. If we backtrack to that first slide that I was talking about today with goals and objectives of the grant, of the iNSPIRE project, I talked about the 20% reduction in antipsychotic usage, and then the improvement in quality of life of your residents. So just to back up to that, the quality of life survey is what you'll be submitting in order for us to track the quality of life. And then the CASPER report is what you'll be submitting to us in order to track that antipsychotic usage. And again, as Carmeli said, these will be submitted quarterly. You will submit the quality of life survey to Carmeli and the CASPER report to me. If you forget that, or if you get confused and you send one to the other, that's fine, we'll figure it out. But just so you know, that is who those will be sent to. Again, this should look very, very familiar. I will be, when I request this from you, I'll give you plenty of time, by the way, to do it. Plenty of time to turn it in, several weeks notice in advance. And then I will also provide you with the date range that we're looking for. So it really should be fairly easy, seeing as how it's something you're already doing. There is a likelihood that you might have to connect with, say, your MDS coordinator or your DON to get this, or someone else within the community. But it should be fairly easy to get, and again, something that you're already doing.
Awesome. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, reporting and monthly calls. So every month I will be sending you your monthly usage report. So both the tablet and the mobile flex of that is going to be sent to you in the beginning of the month. And usually it'll be about around the 5th of the month. We also will be providing monthly calls where we will go over some best practices. I encourage everybody to join these calls, but it is not mandatory. I totally understand. We understand that things can get super busy in your facility. So these are just things to help support you in using these systems in your facility. And there's just a lot of best practices that you can do. And we have some wonderful trainings that are happening, and you will be seeing some emails where you can sign up for these trainings and join them. They're going to be in the webinar format. So I just want to let you know that I am going to be the support. So you are going to be hearing from me whether you like it or not. But I'm here to support, and I'll be your coach, your cheerleader, and just everything that you need, any questions. And I also am super excited to hear the wonderful stories you're going to be getting and seeing and experiencing while you use these tablets and the mobile flex in your facility. So like that being said, let's go to slide 13. And we're going to just take a glimpse of what is in store for your community. So I would love to introduce to you Juliet Kern, IN2L's Director of Program and Research Partnerships, and she'll be reviewing the IN2L system with you and sharing a few stories. Take it away, Juliet.
I always forget to unmute myself. Thank you. And I've been notorious this week for not unmuting myself. So thank you, Carmeli. Thank you, Amanda. I am so delighted to be part of this, and congratulations to all of you. It is just an amazing opportunity that LeadingAge California is providing your communities. I have helped hundreds of communities throughout the country since 2012 apply for these grants. And lately it's been wonderful to be able for us to partner with associations such as LeadingAge California. So they do all the work, we do part of the work, and you get to enjoy and really integrate engagement technology into your community. That is really a wonderful gift. So congratulations to you all. So let me see if I can now show you my screen. I'm still having problems with this. Okay, here we go. All right, can you see my screen? Yes, awesome. All right, so just a brief introduction. Again, I'm Juliet Curlin. I'm the Director of Program and Research Partnerships at IN2L. Been with the company for 10 years. And a large portion of those years has been dedicated to the CMP grant initiative. Again, it's been wonderful to help so many communities. It is wonderful, the stories that we hear. So what I'm hoping that you do when you do send these reports or all of this information to Amanda and Carmeli is for you to share your stories, your success stories, because that allows us to learn more from you and really integrate these stories into our own narrative. So today I'm going to share certain stories that will bring to life how engagement technology can be used to really, for you to provide your staff, your team members with an amazing tool that will allow them to connect at a deeper level with your residents. Because it's all about finding ways to communicate a little bit better, ways to connect, and using the technology, in this case, for the reduction of antipsychotics. And the best way to do that is to really listen to the individual and to use this as a tool to allow you to redirect them, to engage them, and provide really opportunities for joy. That's an administrator in Kentucky once used that. She wanted engagement technology to provide these moments of joy, and I hope you do the same. So let me show you my first slide here. Since you are getting the mobile flex, and as Carmeli already mentioned, this, in my opinion, I'm a gerontologist, this I consider the centerpiece of the IN2L system suite. You're getting the best system, in my opinion. We have flashier systems, but this is the best. Something that you might not know is that the card can be raised to 7 feet. It can be lowered, which is fantastic because people in wheelchairs, or if you want to sit with an individual and just engage them, you'll be able to do it. It is also comes with this wonderful the wonderful peripherals that Carmeli mentioned, which will allow you to have 100% usability of all the content within the IN2L larger systems, one of which is the IN2L Mobile Flex. It also, the screen is an articulating arm, which will allow you to bring it closer and take it further away. Great usability. And you're going to be getting, I believe, one with a battery, which is fantastic, because this will allow you to take this from room to room in the age of COVID-19. That is so important. You will not need to power it down and unplug it. You will be able to take it throughout your community. The battery life is 7 hours. So that's really a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for you to be able to take it from room to room if you need to isolate, of course, disinfecting between each use. But again, this accessibility is really what makes this particular system such a fabulous, fabulous tool. So let me show you the interface that is part of the IN2L Mobile Flex. This is exactly what you're going to see on the screen. And this is the content. This is what makes IN2L IN2L. And there are over 4,000 applications/items behind all of these buttons. So there's a lot for you to be able to explore, if you will, to find something that is going to motivate your residents to engage them. So I'm going to start with music, TV, and film, because that tends to be very popular applications or very popular content in many communities. As you can see, we have classic TV. One of the things that I want to draw your attention to is that little star. Right there on the upper left-hand corner of the button. That means that we have new content behind that particular button. We update our content every 2 months on the odd month. So the last content update occurred on November 1st, and the next one will be on January 1st. So you will have your systems by then, so you will be able to enjoy all the new applications that we will be providing. Our mission is active engagement, not passive engagement. And we know that by providing all of this new content, all of your team members are going to also be interested in seeing what's new. And you'll always be able to find something that will be of interest to your residents.
Juliet, I'm so sorry. This is Amanda popping in. We're looking at Joni.
Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting. Hold on one second. Thank you so much.
No worries. There it is. Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Sorry, I usually use GoToMeeting for this, so I don't have to switch between the screens, and I keep forgetting. And Amanda has to remind me every single time. Very embarrassing. But as I was saying, this is our music, TV, and film content. And it has the jukebox, classic TV, and this is the button that I was alluding to. this new button, you'll always be able to see what's new in the content. We're always updating the content. The jukebox, here you go. You'll be able to get wonderful music for your residents. You'll also notice that there's a little globe at the upper left-hand corner of the button. That means you do need internet access to access this particular content. Approximately 60% of the content resides within the system. So even if you lose your internet, you'll always be able to use IN2L. However, it should be connected. You should have internet because it will allow you to get 100% usability. And it's really the only way that Carmeli will be able to track usage for the reports, the evaluation reports to the state. We have great content partners. Approximately 50% of our content is created in-house, but another approximately 50% is created by these amazing organizations or individuals that have wonderful content that we have discovered throughout the years are of value to your residents and your staff. So Sing with Susie Q, again, she's fabulous. Now when entertainers are not allowed to come into communities, why not bring Susie Q to your residents, or Mary Sue? Again, really wonderful content, always trying to make sure that you have something for your residents. And we always try to be very timely with our content. So obviously you see Christmas carols right here. So that's because 'tis the season, right? So we want you to have that available for your residents. And we even have karaoke, and we know how popular karaoke is with many communities, especially on the weekends. People love to play karaoke and sing along. But I want you to start thinking of the IN2L engagement technology, not just for your activities, folks, but for every one of the professionals in your community to use as a tool to engage residents and for them to be able to meet their needs. So one of my favorite examples, and I will switch my screen, is Joni, who you were able to see just a few minutes ago. So this is Joni, and this is actually a video that was shared by one of our customers. As you can see, this is a rehab gym, and Joni was having trouble really engaging and wanting to be motivated to do her rehab. So this professional actually used an IN2L system. You can't see it on the photo, it's actually off the screen there, off the shot. And she was able to use the karaoke application to get her to dance while she did her rehab. And you can see Joni smile. On the video, she even shakes her booty. I love these videos. They're wonderful, but because they are shared by our customers, they're a little bit difficult to see sometimes during these presentations. So that's why I'm showing you the picture, but I am going to tell you the stories behind these wonderful pictures. And like I said, if you share these stories for your evaluation reports to the state, that is going to be extremely invaluable because the state of California is going to love these stories. They're going to be shared with your CMS regional office, and your CMS regional office will likely share this with a national office. And these are the stories that we also like to share to let everyone know how professionals such as you are using this tool to connect with your residents. So now let me go back to my screen here. All right, so that's music, TV, and film. Again, I only have a few minutes, so I am going to have to rush through this. I hope you don't mind. This is also great content, the travel content, because there are going to be many explorers in your communities. It is also a way for you to be able to bring the world to your residents. Again, because of lockdowns right now, it is so important to be able to allow your residents to have access to the outside world, or for your residents living with dementia to be able to redirect them with things that they're really going to love. And for the explorers, you have continents, you have countries. We're always adding new countries to our content. We have Belize and Canada this as of November 1st. And of course, we have all 50 states. All of the buttons behind this content, behind the states and the countries, are arranged exactly the same way, so that for easy navigation. So you will always be able to find slideshows, recipes. Another way to engage maybe your dining services folks. this is a great idea to be able to do that. You'll have trivia, history, map, news, and attractions. Again, always trying to provide information that or really engaging opportunities to your residents. You might also have residents from other parts of the country who moved to California, who might want to revisit their home state. Again, it's really about finding that way to connect. We have travel videos. They're awesome. We have guided tours. This has been around for a long time. We have slow TV. Rick Steves Travel is one of our content partners. So you'll be able to go to all these amazing places virtually and enjoying those travels. So let me go back to I am going to, remember I said that 50% of the content is created, approximately 50% created in-house and 50% by content partners. We also have some public domain applications that we find very valuable. One of those is Google Earth. My favorite story with Google Earth, and let me share that screen, is Dorothy. And this is how a restorative care professional wanted to motivate Dorothy to do her restorative care. And she was at first having real issues motivating Dorothy. And this is sort of a before and after type of photo. So in this photo really represents a scene. Again, it's a video, but I pulled out the photograph where Dorothy has to be helped up. She doesn't want to do her exercises. She tells this professional that she's tired and wants to get back to her room. So this professional lets her know that if she doesn't do her exercises, the doctor is going to be upset. To which Dorothy answers, I don't care what a doctor thinks. So again, sometimes we rely on telling people that people in authority are going to be upset if they don't do something, but we shouldn't expect somebody in their 80s or 90s to in any way be impressed with that. This community decided to get an IN2L systems, and they asked all of the professionals within the community to find out or to think about a resident they might have been having problems connecting with, to help them in any way possible, and to find content within the system that would allow them to have a better, deeper connection with them and better communication. So this rehab professional decided to take Dorothy to her childhood home. You see, during their conversation, Dorothy's eyes would light up every time she spoke about her childhood home. And this professional decided, with the help of another rehab professional, to use an IN2L system and Google Earth to take Dorothy to her childhood home. In the video, she gets up by herself. Notice how she's smiling. She does her restorative care exercises for around 20 minutes, giggling every time she touched the screen, because it seems to move when you're using Google Earth. She loved it. So one of the things that I ask professionals when I show these videos during presentations at conferences is to imagine yourself, and this is your first day at your job. And your first impression of Dorothy is the first scene where she's being difficult, where she's being a little bit belligerent. And your first impression is going to be that this is going to be a very difficult resident to work with. And you're already going to be on guard. And when you have a chance to meet with her one-on-one, you're already going to be expecting perhaps less than a joyful experience during that meeting. But then pretend that your first impression of Dorothy is the second photograph, that second scene. You're going to expect a lady who loves life, who's laughing and giggling, who's just enjoying the entire experience. And even if she's having a tough day, you're going to know that there will be ways to reach her, ways to get her to smile and to bring that Dorothy that you first saw back. So again, oftentimes is how do we use the tools that are provided to us to really connect with the residents? Because we might be able to create, again, these amazing moments of joy. So let me go back. Sorry. Oops. So we have the travel, we have a lifelong learning. This is a great area for you to be able to connect with those lifelong learners in your community. We have audiobooks. These are wonderful. One of my suggestions is why not create an audiobook club for the bookworms in your community? These books rotate as well, so you'll always have new books. every 2 months, but they stay there for a long time. So you'll have a very long time to read them as well. So they always kind of go in a way, just so what I just said was extremely confusing. What will happen is Peter Pan will disappear on January 1st. Everything will move over one spot and you'll have a new book to replace where the Nutcracker is right now. So they will move throughout, through every 2 months. So great way to connect with those residents who love books. You have music and art as well for those artists in your community. One of the jokes that I have is that Bob Ross should be in the relaxation area because he's always puts me to sleep. But anyway, that's a really silly joke. But you have the Beatles, you have so much to learn. And you can also take your residents on virtual tours of museums. During the age of COVID, what a wonderful opportunity for you to be able to bring the outside world, to bring this beautiful art to your residents. You have sign language, you even have the animal kingdom. So you'll be able to learn, a lot about many different animals and continue exploring the natural world. Wolves are new. I love wolves, so that's really beautiful. I always get surprised to see what's new on the system as well. We have veterans and history. For those historians in your community and for the veterans in your community, there's going to be content that is going to draw them in, that they're going to really appreciate, and that will allow you to learn more about them as well. We have sports. This is wonderful too for all of those athletes in your community that can show off their knowledge of basketball or baseball, or they may want to learn something new about one of the sports that they had always been interested in learning about. And for them to be able to reminisce, maybe tell stories about when they would go fishing, or maybe they were cowboys and in the rodeo, or maybe they played football. Again, wonderful opportunities to really engage them. You also have content that was created specifically for people living with dementia. So this is really wonderful content that you will be able to use very often, including pastimes. These are beautiful videos. They're very relaxing and residents absolutely love them. Oops, sorry, hit the wrong button there. Am I showing you? No, I'm not showing you the. These are the videos. My apologies again. I tend to forget that I have to switch, but this is the content that you will be seeing. Again, veterans, all the sports are here. The reminiscence content is right there. The what did it cost trivia is absolutely wonderful as well. It gives opportunities for success. It allows residents to play this wonderful trivia and be successful. You will have health and wellness. Great opportunity for your residents to be able to stay fit. You have exercise videos. Some of them will recognize Marianne Wilson from Sit and Be Fit, conductor size. They'll also have opportunities for Qigong and Tai Chi. So again, really being able to provide the residents with things that they really love, including brain fitness. Happy Neuron are wonderful cognitive games that can be very challenging and difficult, or they can be made very simple, again, for opportunities for success. And laughter. The laughter videos are really popular in memory care communities. I have been able to go to communities where they're playing these videos and everybody starts laughing. Again, those opportunities for moments of joy. You have games and puzzles because everybody loves to play. So you'll have TV game shows, geography, card and board games. You'll have access. This is where you have access to those 3 accessories or the peripherals that Carmeli mentioned earlier. Casino games. There's a community in Colorado where the casino games are more popular than bingo, believe it or not. But you'll also have bingo. Why not let the IN2L system call the numbers while the staff is able then to just interact with the residents. And you have puzzles. You can even create your own puzzles. Maybe next time when your families are able to come into the communities again, take a picture of the family, and then you'll be able to share them with the residents behind their own individual buttons. And I'll tell you about that in just a second. But from the games, I'm going to tell you the next story. You were able to see that screen for a long time while I was talking about the content. And this is John. This is a beautiful story. This is a gentleman who moved into a community living with dementia. And as many of the male residents tend to do, he started self-isolating. He was in a wheelchair and he only came out for meal times. Of course, as the isolation continued, as we all know, it can be really detrimental to a person's physical and cognitive health. John started getting more and more depressed. He started losing weight, and the staff really started worrying about him. So they decided that they really needed to bring something to him. And this is an old version of our mobile flex. So they found out from the family that he had been a pilot, a decorated pilot. So they decided to bring the IN12 system into his room so he could fly his planes. And it's just lovely. He became engrossed. He loved it. So they did that numerous times. But remember, the objective was to get him out of his room. They wanted him to be part of the community, to engage with the other residents. So they told him that if he wanted to continue using the flying simulator, that he should actually come out and sign his name on a sign-up sheet just in case somebody else wanted to use the system, or perhaps another of the professionals wanted to use that system. So that's what he did. He did that numerous times, and they would bring on the system. One day, this particular system was being kept in an activities room. So one day he went to sign up his name and he noticed the system was not being used. So he asked one of the staff if he could actually fly his plane. So of course they turned on the system and he started flying his plane. And remember, this is an activities room. So people were passing by and the residents noticed this. And they started gathering around him, asking him questions. You must understand, for this generation, being a pilot was an A-list profession. So he was considered something very special by these folks. So not only were they just absolutely thrilled with having a pilot in the community, but John was beaming from all the attention. He was able to regain that preferred view of himself. He saw himself as a pilot, as a respected pilot. And that's what he was getting from all of the other residents. How do we know this story? Because the activities director shared that story with us. She also shared what happened next. So she passed by, she noticed all of this, and she asked John, she had this great idea. She asked John if he would consider becoming this particular community's pilot. They would work together every month and come up with a destination. They would use another section of the room. They had a large IN2L system in another section of the room, and they would play videos of that particular destination. They set up another section of the activities room like an airplane, and they would give all of the residents airline tickets. And the residents would be helped to the plane by staff. The staff would become flight attendants. They would serve them refreshments, and John would fly them to that destination. And once they got there, they would disembark. The activities director would work with the dining services team to create munchies reminiscent of that place that we're going to visit. They would take a virtual tour of that place. They would get back on the plane, and then John would fly them back. The trip home was always a lot shorter, of course. It became the most popular activity in that community. Every month when that calendar was published, the residents would gather around to find out to what destination John would be flying them to. And John, who since has passed away, the last years of his life were full of joy. He had a purpose. He was this community's pilot. So instead of slowly declining in his room, self-isolating, he was able to thrive and be a very important part of that community. I love that story. It is one of my favorites. And it really goes to show you the power that you can give your team when you give them these amazing tools that they can use to connect with residents. So back to the content. And I must hurry because we don't have that much time. So we also have Stay Connected. You can have Skype there. You can have access to the internet. The most popular applications that are accessed through IN2L systems on the internet are found right there. And we also have spiritual content. This part of the content has grown significantly over the past 3 years because we know how important spirituality is to many of your residents. And that brings me to my next story. And let me share that. Oh, sorry. this is Lewis. And as you can see, let me tell you the background story with Lewis. Lewis was, oh, I'm sorry. I am trying to make sure that I'm sharing Lewis. There you go. This is a daycare center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Lewis, again, living with dementia, was a client there. And unfortunately, as his dementia progressed, he would become very combative throughout the day. What we used to call behaviors, he would exhibit this. Again, this external stimuli would somehow set him off. And the staff there really didn't know what to do. They had tried music, they had tried games, and nothing seemed to work. And they were really worried that one day he was either going to hurt himself or someone else in this particular center. So they spoke to the family and found out that he was deeply spiritual, that he was also Catholic. So one day he was having a really difficult day. And what one of the staff did is she remembered the spiritual content with that IN2L. So she went to the system, turned on the rosary. You can't see it right there, but that's the rosary. And she directed him and sat him down right there, and he started praying. They took this picture because they could not believe the difference between with this man. He was combative 5 minutes before they took this picture. All he needed was to find solace and to be able to be redirected, if you will, to a place where he wanted to be, which was to be praying. From then on, every single time that he would become a little bit difficult or he would get very, very agitated, they would put on one of the spiritual content videos or the rosary for him to be able to pray. The family could not believe it either. They were so happy that they had found some way to reach him. And that's why they have allowed us to share this photograph with you since then. So again, it's a beautiful story of how, again, something like engagement technology can have such power for a person. And now let's go back to my other screen here. And so that's spiritual content. We also have tools for you to be able to explore the system. We have activity ideas, holiday ideas. You'll also be able to find out what's new on the content every 2 months just by going to this section. Again, as I mentioned, November was our most recent update, so you'll be able to find that content right there. We also have a way for your rehab professionals to be able to use the IN2L system. We have reorganized the content, and we also added some applications that were designed specifically for rehab professionals, and it's right there. And Memory Coach will allow your staff to have in-service trainings, allow them to better connect with your residents living with dementia. And since this project focuses on the reduction of antipsychotics, my suggestion is to explore this content so they can be trained, especially new staff. They can really understand what it is for a lot of these residents living with dementia and how to better connect with them. So I always save the best for last. This is why IN2L has become the engagement technology that has been supported by so many CMP grants throughout the country, and why many of the CMS regional offices, associations, and healthcare associations, and also state agencies have become advocates of IN2L. Because IN2L can provide a very person-centered experience. You'll be able to create buttons for your residents and then populate them with the content that they love. So that way you'll be able to choose the content and then create those wonderful moments, because every individual is different. Bill is going to like some applications, and Catherine is going to like her own applications. So that makes it very special. So now we're going to go back to my presentation. And of course, the tablet comes with 1,000+ applications uploaded. Obviously, it's a smaller system, but this is where you will probably create most of your individualized buttons. In a very short time, this system and the large system will be able to communicate. So any of the personalized profiles that you create on the tablet will be automatically replicated on your mobile flex. And the reason that this particular technology is so popular is because of the video chat. This is also one of the reasons why the Alzheimer's Association has become an advocate of IN2L and has partnered with IN2L on something called Project Vital that was launched in Florida, because this video chat application allowed many residents after COVID to be able to communicate with their families. And this is a photograph from that particular project. This is a resident living with dementia communicating with her daughter through an IN2L tablet. So you're getting wonderful, wonderful technology that you will be able to just enjoy for years to come. So thank you so much. And I will now give it back to Amanda. And again, congratulations. You are going to love IN2L. And I want to share your stories. So if you send them to Carmeli and to Amanda, I am going to hear about them. And if you want them to become part of my presentations, I would love it, because I want to continue sharing these opportunities of success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juliet. That was just wonderful. I totally agree with you. I think Bob Ross is the most relaxing programming. I just tune out and I melt. It's great.
There's been studies. There's been studies about that it lessens anxiety.
I believe it. I believe it. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Really, really wonderful presentation. I'm going to go back, everybody, to our final slide, and that's going to be my contact information as well as Carmeli's. Oh, sorry, guys. Bear with me. Okay, here we go. My contact information on the left, Carmeli's contact information on the right. Carmeli, I love every time that you say, I am your cheerleader, I am your supporter, I am it, because yeah, I feel the same way. Really, we are here to help you. We're here to help support you. We are your cheerleaders, and please reach out to us, email, phone, whatever, because we're here to help. Yep. We do have some questions. We do have some time for questions, but I know, Carmeli, thank you. You were kind of answering as well.
Yeah,
but
I was. For people who probably didn't see it, because there's a lot of things going on around here on the chat box, which is amazing. Thank you, everybody, for using that. I think someone asked about, is there multiple languages? So currently we only have content in Spanish, some content in Spanish. So that is what we have. And then somebody else asked about, hold on, let me look.
Yeah, for some reason I can't open my chat. So
I know. Did you answer the one, Carmeli?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you answer the one about the surveys?
Yes, I did. I answered the one about the survey. So the surveys you will do with your resident, and I put it on there. I will also send you guys all kind of like how to do it, and that's 15, it's only 15 questions, and in average it's about 5 minutes per resident, and you're going to get you're going to take 20% of your consensus, and that's how many. So if you have 100, for example, I put on here, if you have 100 residents, you're only going to do 20. And you're only going to be doing that quarterly. So you're not going to do it like every month or anything. It's going to be quarterly. Somebody else also asked about if we can, I think I wrote it down. It says they wanted to know if we can connect it through a smart TV to show groups of people at one time. So there is a way to do it, to connect it to a bigger screen. So you can connect the Mobile Flex to a bigger screen. I will be sending you that. There's lots of resources coming your way. So we have the training, we have the tablet training next week on Wednesday at 2:00. And then on Monday, the 21st of December is going to be your Mobile Flex training. So all of that, if you have any more questions on that, please feel free to ask me, but you will also be getting a lot of the training and how to use these systems in your facilities. And let's see if I see any more questions. You only get one Mobile Flex. Yeah. So you got one Mobile Flex and 3 tablets. And so that was a question from Emmanuel. What happens if the equipment breaks? These are really good questions. There is a warranty. So if your equipment breaks, there is a warranty written in the grant. So if anything breaks, you just come to me and let me know. And then it says here, can you please remind us of the time for the Mobile Flex training? You will get so many reminders from me and Amanda that, but I will definitely make sure to remind everybody. I will send you guys a invitation to the Mobile Flex, to all the trainings. And if you don't have any equipment yet, it is coming. So don't worry about that. It is coming. I'm tracking everything, making sure everybody gets it. And that's why I'm going to send everybody a checklist. So if you don't have something, please just feel free to be like, we haven't gotten, you know, this or that. So yeah, it's at 2 p.m. So on Wednesday, it's on the screen. Wednesday, December 9th at 2 p.m. is going to be your training for tablets. And then the training for your large screen will be Monday, December 21st at 2 p.m. We just wanted everybody to have their bellies filled before, you know, they go into these trainings. So a happy belly, right? Makes you learn easily. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? I think I've answered all of them. Please feel free to just reach out and connect to Amanda or I, and we can always answer anybody's questions. You know, feel free to call us or email us. We're always around. Thank you for coming. It is about that time. It's 3 o'clock. Thank you so much for taking, you know, your time to giving us an hour of your time. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Carmeli, and thank you, Julia. Thank you so much to everybody who attended today. We hope you have a great rest of your day, and congratulations. We're really excited to have you in the iNSPIRE project.
Yes. We'll see you on Wednesday next week at 2 p.m.
Everyone.